Jen, I don't know about you, but when I see that video, I'm ready to leave right now.
Oh my gosh, the second that the music came on, it was everything it took to get in my seat and start not like doing the French jig. It takes me right back to our vide grenade, it takes me right back to our cafe, takes me right back to our pasty, right? It's like, oh, it's incredible.
Wasn't it fantastic? Well, I wanted to welcome you, your partner in crime back there. I see Greg. Yep. And of course, me, Kate Richberg from beadshop.com. And friends, we wanted to come on, talk a little bit about our upcoming sojourn to France. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the experience of the retreat. I've had some inquiries about it. And so I'm going to talk a little bit. Jen's going to talk a little bit. You can ask your questions and we'll go from there. So I'm super excited. Jen, why don't you jump in and start by telling everyone what Soul Stirring Retreats is, why, when, how, where, why me, and then we'll talk about the specifics.
Okay, I will try to make this little story of mine short. You know I'm a storyteller. So when we are drinking our wine at dinner, I will lull everybody into a sleep with my long stories, right? I'll keep it short. Not my forte. Anyway,
me neither.
I have been going to this area of France since 2008. That was the first time I went there. And the retreat house, La Cascade, has been a retreat house for the last 25 years. It was sitting in this medieval village. It didn't have a roof on it. The family had forgotten it like a lost, forlorn object. And Gwen Gibson came in. She was a polymer clay designer, one of the OG polymer clay people. If you guys Google Gwen Gibson, you'll see what an amazing woman created the way technique everybody uses. And she fell in love with the area and she wanted to resurrect this house. And so she created it. Now, this is what's amazing. This was before Airbnb. This was before really you had only the option of like a hotel and that was it. And she knew that artist instructors needed a place to take their people that was going to be an immersive experience, not some giant cruise ship, not some get in the bus and drive around and hit the highlights, right?
Right.
Gwen knew that the location was so special, so beautiful, so steeped in history, so inspiring to the artistic brain and creative brain that she had this vision of creating this space. And so it has been this space for 25 years. And so through the teaching, the arts and crafts industry, the jewelry industry, where I met your fabulousness and we became fast friends, I got a chance to go to La Cascade. Fell in love with it, started bringing all of my people there, not every year. Some years it was every year. Some years it was every couple of years. And that's how we did it. And then the pandemic hit. And of course, everything shut down and I wasn't able to travel for a while. I did bring people back in 2023. And I really was like, I don't know if I need to do this anymore. Came home. My husband here, my partner in crime, Greg, I came home to him because I got this brilliant idea that was like, you know what? I don't need to be doing it all. I don't need to do the back and the front and the foreground and the sideground and everything. I don't need to do it all. What I need to do is I need to invite my friends who are brilliant instructors, give them the opportunity to bring their people. And then we do what we know best, which is literally take care of everything in the background. So the moment that people, they get on their plane in their home state, their home airport, they fly to Toulouse, France, they get off, we welcome with open arms, they meet their favorite instructor, and they have this unique, amazing, immersive experience. And it is immersive, and it's not, you can't go sign up for any other experience and get what we're getting, because this is, from the very beginning, it is meant to be boutique and special and unique and steeped. Really, that's what it is. So I go on and on and on, but I'm going to take a breath and let you ask a question.
Well, I have I'm trying to overlay a couple of pictures here from our time in Darfur. And this, it's kind of hard to see, but you're on this side. One of my favorite things about Darfur was this experience right here. So as Jen said, this is a medieval village. It's very small. It's in the south of France, and they're known for their waters. So
Absolutely.
what you're looking at right here is the spring. And this is a tap that runs from the spring 24/7. So every night.
I mean, straight down from the glaciers.
Yeah. It is amazing.
Prehistoric, forever.
Cold water. We walk from the house. It's like a 3-minute walk, right? We amble.
I was going to say 3 minutes is ambling and talking with your,
That's right.
drink in your hand. Yeah.
We fill our jugs of water for dinner. You also see people there that have traveled from all over the south of France to get, so that part was like, going to France to take the waters. This was actually the waters. I also have a lovely picture. This is Nesh's kitchen, a little alcove in her kitchen. When we say that we are going to live like a local, and Jen is talking about the house where we're going to stay, La Cascade. La Cascade abuts the river, the cascade, and the river has like little waterfalls, cascades that come down. And there's one right behind our house, and you can hear it while we're working. We're going to turn the whole house, my friends, into our atelier. So not only, last year it was really fun. There's a workroom up top, and I was trying to get the workroom photo to load, but I think it's too big. I'm going to try one more time. It might be a little too big to upload, but maybe it'll do it. Oh, it looks like it's
that was the part of the house that was rebuilt. That's where there was no roof.
There we are.
And then they completely rebuilt it for the studio. And then that's our studio at the third story of this 400-year-old stone house.
Yeah, it's so cool. So there are our participants last year. Last year we did jewelry. And at the end of the project, at the end of our retreat, I looked at Jen, and it was like a lightning bolt hit me. And I said, you know what next year we're going to do? We're going to sew. Because so many of you watch like my Saturday stitch-ins, or you look on my social, beyond what I do at beadshop.com, that we're starting to do a lot of stitching and interesting things there as well. But I was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to stitch. We're going to sew. And so we're going to make what we call my French wardrobe. And you saw me at the beginning there in my kind of
adorable,
right? My little, what do they call it? Capsule wardrobe, right? I'm like, I'm going to make my clothes to go to France. And so you're going to learn a bunch of things. We're going to have sorry, my phone just went off.
Can I interject really quick about the sewing? Okay. I just really want to interject on this because I know it was a big like aha moment for you. And I'm going to take a little bit of credit because I loved how small you traveled and how beautiful you looked every day when we were going out. And I remember saying to you, I was there and I was like, Kate, how do you do that? Like, how do you do that? I'm a curvy mama and I love jewelry and I've been making jewelry forever. I love it. Right. But it was like, how do you get a particular age? Because I need comfort, right? I'm like, I got to wear the comfortable shoes. I need comfort. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I've been with this man for 32 years. You know what I mean? Like I just need comfort. And so I said to you, and I said, I want to be you. How can I be you? How can I look like you? How can I dress like you? Teach me how to be you. And so I think that I planted that little bit of a seed because you were like, Jen, it's easy. If you can sew a straight stitch. And I'm like, girl, I can't sew anything. And you were like, I'll teach you.
Perfect. Yes. Boom. Yes.
So I'm going to take a minuscule of credit for it.
I think you should. Steal a little bit of that credit. Probably more than a little bit.
Okay.
But it is true. I have been sewing since I was a little girl. And my mom, my grand taught me, my mom taught me. My mom and I are quilters. We love to quilt. But I put aside, when I was in high school, right, in the 80s, I always wanted to dress so that we kind of stood out, and so we had some kind of flair, right? I like flair. So I made a lot of my own clothes in high school. My best girlfriend Susan and I, her mom, my gran, we sewed. I made, like planning my wardrobe for France. I planned my wardrobe for my senior year, and I'm not kidding. So, so, um, but I put away making clothes for many, many years, and I was really, really fortunate when we moved back here to the Central Valley of California. I found a really fantastic group of mostly women who are fantastic sewers, fantastic sewists, seamstresses, designers, slow stitchers. And it really, what do I want to say? It inspired me to remember how I can tap into that creativity through sewing. Before I started beads, I was in the theater. I worked in the costume shop, and we were fast and quick, and you had to make sometimes something overnight to go back on stage. And, so it was tapping into those skills that I never really lost. And so those of you who join me, it's going to be a magical week. You're going to be able to leave all of your cares behind. And if you're nervous about sewing, I know that you're nervous about a few things. You're nervous about traveling. You're nervous about sewing. Maybe you're nervous about fit issues, right? Maybe you're nervous about, well, what if I get stuck, or what if I don't know how to do this? So let me tell you, take all of that bunch of nervousness questions and throw them out. Because I'm with you. Jen is with you. Greg is with you. Your stay is going to be fantastic. You're not going to worry about where to eat, how to eat, what to do. We've got a fantastic itinerary planned for you. And I'll share my screen in a bit, and you'll see the whole itinerary up on Jen's on the website. But also, I will guide you through creating a piece. You're either going to get to do one piece, maybe two, but you will certainly go home with the
beginning of your capsule.
Yeah, and the courage and the conviction to continue sewing for yourself. So what I'm wearing here today is kind of the piece that you're going to be making. You're going to be able, what we're going to do is, and I'm going to move my stool there so you can see, we're going to create a basic linen top. You are going to, first off, measure. I'm going to help you. That's why it's a small group. I have a basic pattern, a sloper for you to use. We're going to fit it to you. And then first day, right off the bat, we're going to start cutting that fabric, and you're going to start working. Then throughout the week, you can see I've got a couple of embellishments here. I've got a pocket here with some embroidery I did with my machine. This is also a piece that I embellished here. You can also see, you're going to learn how to different techniques for finishing, that kind of thing. We're going to work primarily in linen. So beforehand, and I'm going to tell you all of this, we're going to have some group meetings before we leave. I'm going to show you, we're going to talk about the resources. We're going to talk about how much fabric you need, how to prepare it, how to bring it over, the small amount of sewing supplies you're going to need. And then we're just going to jump in. That first day, our first big work day, we're going to start. Then we've got some great excursions planned. We're going to go to a really fabulous woman who Jen and I both met when we were there last time. She has vintage textiles, vintage pieces that we're going to be able to embellish with. We're going to go, I cannot wait. We're going to go on a dyeing expedition. You want to talk a little bit about the woad dyeing, Jen?
Yeah, exactly. So in the south of France, in the area that we're at, there is a plant. It's called the woad. It's the woad plant, W-O-A-D. I was spelling it W-O-D with the dyer. Not good. W-O-A-D. And it's this really ugly, I've said this before, but it is the ugliest looking, hairiest little thing you've ever seen. Like if you saw it growing, you would want to pluck it up and throw it away. And this thing is like the most natural beauty with the way the dye does. It makes the French blue. And it is what created the wealth, the pastel blue that began the merchant trade and the wealth that was started in Toulouse. So Paris was the hub of things, and Toulouse became the merchant center and the area of the wealth. And so we have an amazing instructor there. She has her own shop. She's been woad dyeing for everything. She knows everything about it. And we're going to do an excursion where we're going to get to do our own woad dyeing. And she's going to help us about what to do. So you will have the original blue that you can add and slow stitch on or do any kind of embellishments on. By the way, I don't know anything about sewing, but I want you to know I did some slow stitching for you. And
I love it.
Look, slow stitching.
Look,
so,
love.
Anyway, so some slow stitching, but imagine doing it on the woad. So we have that. The atelier we're going to is one of a kind curated. She is, I can't say how old she is because French women never reveal their age. That would be a terrible thing. Let's just say she has been curating and collecting since she was 12. And her biggest clients that she had Ralph Lauren. She had a lot of the major, and she was their secret. They would fight over her because she was the secret of being able to get the antiquity, the patterns of antiquity that were outside of any copyright. So they would be able to come to her. So she is a secret French treasure who is our secret French treasure. And I don't even want to share it with Ralph Lauren. I don't.
No, I know. It was so fun. It was like we were the Von Trapps, like excursioning over the Alps practically. We walked down. I mean, I'm making it kind of crazy sounding, but it was so fun. We strolled down from La Cascade. We went to the atelier. We had a great time. We bought textiles. We had such a fun time, such a great time.
So that's it. So woad dyeing is something, again, that is really immersive experience. That is, the woad is only in that area. What happened is the pastel, the French blue and the pastel, and that was the blue that came along. And then, the other indigo came up afterwards because it was cheaper and less expensive to make. So they were able to go to the indigo, but the original French blue is there. So yes, so we're gonna be an immersive. That's a full day of dyeing that we're gonna get to do. That's one of our excursions. We will be dyeing in the morning. We will be letting it dry. We'll be going out for a lovely lunch, having time out in Revel to be able to do that, and then we will be coming back. So we are really immersing ourselves in this culture, these textiles, and what you are talking about. And then we'll also go to the market, and and then the other thing is we will be doing the flea markets, because you cannot go to France and not do the flea markets.
That's right. And you'll be able to bring back some really fantastic treasures, that you've gathered, that kind of stuff. So cool. I came back with, we had to ship some things home, but I successfully, when we got to Lourdes, successfully navigated the French postal system. I was extremely proud of myself. You can also see, I wanted to put this there. I put this up on the screen. It's the France, my page on soulstormagic.com. And there's a really fantastic interview with Jen and I sitting just down the way from La Cascade, talking about our experience. It was really, really fun. And it's a fun one to watch. So you can watch that.
That's the River Soar, but we had to get far enough away from the cascade because it was so loud. So exactly. But that's the river that flows, the River Soar that flows right behind the house.
Yeah, so great. And so the description is here on the page, so you'll be able to see everything, everything that happens. But we're going to have, it's February now, which I can't believe. We're going to start to get things ready because we're going to be leaving in June. So it's coming up. So if you folks are thinking about going, clear that calendar, contact Jen, and so you can lock in that travel and get it ready to go. Then you don't have to think about anything because it's done.
Well, and I want you guys to know two things that, so I want to go back to the fears, because you covered the fear about sewing. Okay. And I get it. And what I want to cover of the fear are the other fears that we hear from our ladies that are like, they want to travel, and maybe their husbands don't want to go so far from them, and maybe their husbands are worried about them traveling overseas by themselves, or maybe they're worried about traveling overseas by themselves. And there really isn't anything to fear, because we got you. When I woke him up in the middle of the night, when I came back and said, I have this idea, I want to start having, I want to be the behind the scenes and not the everything. And I'm like, will you please help me? Will you take care of these women and help? Because it takes two of us. So Greg is an engineer, right? That's how he made his living. So he is detail oriented. He is safety first. He is, he will help anybody help. He's great at finding the best possible, travel deal. He will help you if you have a layover. He will help you be like, okay, this is not enough time. This is too much time. He will literally hold your hand, and he will talk to your husband and say, look, I got her. I got her.
I got you.
I got you. So that's his thing. And then I'm here literally to just, like, we know the area. Nesha, who owns La Cascade, has lived there for 30 years. So it's like, there's nothing that could go wrong that we don't have a resource for to help anybody. So really, any fear that you have, I promise you, if you can feel the fear and do it anyway, you will have an experience of a lifetime. And this is our family business. This is not some big giant thing. We care, and we will make sure that you are taken care of, and that you are happy, and that you get what you need. So,
and I always feel taken care of when I'm there as an instructor, for sure. And I'm so honored that you asked me to come back. My goodness.
And you said why you? I never answered that question. May I answer that really quick? The why you is because when we came up with this, and Greg said to me, and he said, it's a great idea. It all hinges on the instructor, right? And I said he's like, how are you going to make sure you have the right instructor? And I was like, easy. I've been in the jewelry industry forever. And I'm like, I know who is amazing. And so I made a very short list of my favorite people and who did I want to have this experience with for the very first time. And you, my friend, were number one.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the reason why. I know you as an instructor. I know that your number one thing is to take care of your people and that they learn. I know that they have an amazing experience. I know that your heart is always in it. And I know that you make sure that you keep things positive. We are never allowed to spiral down into a bad place with you. And that's very important to me, because one of the things is, in the world today, right now, a lot of the things we're seeing, it has been hard for some people. We have gone through some hard times. And I want people to have hope. I want them to have positivity. I want them to be seen. I want them to feel loved and cared for. And I want to offer a bright spot in there to do it. And I need a partner who's going to make sure that that's their agenda and their goal. And that's you.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to go lie down is what I'm going to have to do. I'm so embarrassed. I just flashed on here our buddy Maria, who was going to be joining us today and unfortunately couldn't because she had some last minute travel plans. But Maria was one of the ladies and one of our returning ladies who is coming this year as well. And I know that she really had a great transformative experience. I know that all of our group, we made, as you always like to say, memories that last a lifetime. So I'm so excited. And it's coming up. So we wanted to do another little plug, another little, hey, a commercial for come out with us, because it's going to, I think, be really just a fun, wonderful bonding and educational experience. So you can contact Jen. As I said, let me put this back up on the screen. There's a link to it on the homepage on beadshop.com. And it links right over to this page here. Any questions you might have, you can certainly drop them down into the chat, but you can also reach out to Jen and Greg. Their email is right there on the website. And if you have any questions for me, you can always reach us over at info@beadshop.com. But I'm really, really looking forward to meeting you and having such a fantastic, immersive, creative experience all together.
Yeah, and I do right now, the other thing I wanted to tell you is that I've been telling, the other students that have signed up for the retreats, I was like, wait to buy your tickets, because about 4 months out is the prime time to be able to get the best price on your overseas tickets. So right now is the time to get in, get your tickets, get ready, get that, like you said, get those travel plans taken care of. We're going to have lots of Zooms. You're going to help with the questions. There's going to be a lot of pre-education. It really is easy peasy. You just contact us with any questions. You pay a non-refundable deposit. We'll help you start with the airline shopping. Greg can help you with that. Any information that you have, anything you need, you can call us on the phone. You can email us, anything that you need for that. We are really here for that. And then, I just want to say, I love that Maria says, she wanted to reach out and let you know how much she's looking forward to seeing you both in June. I have a funny story about Maria before we go. Maria was not planning to come back. So she was like, she had a family reunion to go to or something. And then she was like, I don't sew a stitch. I do not know how to sew. I don't know anything else. And she called me on the phone and she was like, Jen, I'm in. And I said, really? And she goes, I don't care. I don't care if I have a square that I go home with. I'm not going to miss France. I'm not going to miss Kate. I'm not going to miss you. I'm not going to miss the experience, because it was so transformational for her that she's like, she doesn't care what are doing. She's just ready to come. So that to me is a beautiful testimonial to you as an instructor, to us as the organizer, and to what we're doing here. So thank you, Maria. We cannot wait to see you again.
Yeah, we can. And I also spoke last night actually with our friend Tina, who also went, and she unfortunately couldn't join us today either, but she was saying about how she's certainly looking forward to it. And so if you didn't join us last year, and I know there's a couple of new people that are coming this time, a few returnees that are coming, we become very fast and close friends very, very quickly. So even if you feel like you're not knowing a soul, you don't know anyone on the trip, all the better, because you're going to leave with everyone being close and fun and wonderful. You're going to have a fantastic time. So,
and to that, real quick, you can come alone, and I love it, and it'll be fine. And if anybody's on here and says, I want to do this, but I'm just a little nervous traveling alone, and has a best girlfriend or a sister or an aunt or a mom or anybody, contact us, because we're going to run a little friend special right now. So if you sign up and you bring somebody and they were with you and they room with you, we have a little discount for you that will be able to help too. So
that's awesome.
Literally, we are getting rid of, it's like, tell me what your problem is and I will kick it out of there.
And we will take care of it.
I know. And then I have one more, and I know you're saying this, and I know you got to go because you keep it at 30 minutes. Can I do one last thing?
Yes, of course. Okay. Of course.
I did my own card deck, right? My wisdom deck, right?
Yes.
I have my own card deck. So before I came on, I pulled 3 cards for the card deck of what do I need to tell Kate and what do I know to the group. May I do the quick little reading?
Yes, do it.
Okay. So I did the card deck. I pulled 3 cards. This is the card that is, what do you need? What do you not know that you need to know, right? Or what is bubbling up in there? What needs to be revealed to you? And the card is, start before you're ready. Okay. Start before you're ready. It means if you are feeling a tingle from this, if you're excited, if you want to do it and it's for you, but you have those little things, they're just little things. We sometimes have to do what we need to do and start before we're ready. Okay. The second card is, what do you know? What do you know now that is important for you? And it is, what sets your heart on fire?
I love that one.
Right?
Yes.
This is all about creativity, getting inspired. If you've been feeling a little depressed, if you've been in the dumps, if you're worried about the way things have been going, if you need new girlfriends, if you're feeling alone or lonely, and creativity is the way that you write yourself and find a new way to being, then create what sets your heart on fire. That's what we're going to do. That's what Kate does best, is set you on fire. And then
South of France is very inspiring.
Exactly. It is inspiring. And the last thing is, what is the outcome of these 2 cards? And it is, your breathtaking beauty. And that is France, right? It's the breathtaking beauty. And so
love it.
You will find your breathtaking beauty in the south of France. So thank you for the card pull.
Oh my gosh, I love that, Jen. I love that so much.
Mm-hmm.
It is just, I cannot wait to see you folks. I can't wait to see you folks behind the screen. So please reach out if you'd like to join us. We are going to have the best time. You're going to need a minimal amount of supplies, a maximum amount of imagination, and capacity for fun. So again, the link is on the homepage over on beadshop.com. You've also seen I've put it up there on the screen. Reach out to Jen and Greg if you have questions. If you have questions for me and want to send them to them and have them send them to me, however you want to do it. But we're really looking forward to spending some more time together.
It's going to be amazing.
All right. Well, thank you so much, my friends. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to everyone soon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks all.